We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to the semifinals here on Playoff Sunday at the Curling Stadium, Martensville International. Jim Nix here with Terry Corbin on the other mic and Matthew Duizer doing our production this afternoon. And we're the semifinals, Terry. We've seen both these teams before.
Yes, we have. We've been treated to some great curling. Scott's kind of put together a highlight reel package weekend, and let's see, he had a quad and a triple in one game. He had a triple, scored 4 in another game. Just amazing shot making, and Rylan's team just keeps plugging along.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I didn't get to see live the situation with Scott last night, but I looked at the replays on. It was pretty impressive couple shots, and then I did his game this morning, and like you say, he made a double raise takeout for 4 early in that one.
Yeah.
That kind of ended pretty well, and Rylan's got an extra game under his belt, so he had to come through. Where Scott was 3-1 and went directly through. Rylan had to go through a tiebreaker last evening, and so he got an extra game. So it should be a good one. And Kleiter does have hammer.
I think Scott has hammer.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, you're right. Yeah. Forgot who was throwing.
Yeah, Scott drew the
drew
the pin there.
Yeah. Tim March lead for Scott Howard. I mentioned this morning that Tim and Scott, I think, have played together a long time. Scott Howard plays out of Navan, Ontario. I didn't realize that's where they played out of because it's I was a bit surprised where that is. It's only 20 kilometers east of Ottawa or so. And
yeah, that's I think more a result of Jason.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to make it out sometimes with where guys are playing for sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Jason still lives up there, and I think Maddie's out in Cornwall area, I think, or he was.
Yeah.
Scott's more Midland, or that's where he was. He could be elsewhere by now, but and Tim in Toronto.
Yeah.
Was.
So they're pretty spread out.
Yeah.
So Kleiter team player going hard on this, trying to slide this by. Won't quite get by. These first ends always look a little scary when they go at it this way, but usually at the end of it, it settles down to somebody getting one. Anyway, or none sometimes.
Well, I'm sure Scott would rather rearrange these angles a little bit because they certainly don't favor him.
Yeah, so he's playing a little hit and roll here, but he could probably get rid of both reds here unless there's less space between the back one and the red one than I think. Or both yellows, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get my head straight here.
That's real good.
Yeah, great shot.
And it was essential that he made the move there versus waiting for Kleiter to rearrange things. Now certainly a nose hit can get a lot of red moving.
Yeah, and he needs it right now. He doesn't have hammer. He needs to get at least a couple out of here. A couple on a nose hit wouldn't be bad.
Yeah,
Can he get them all? He might. No.
Oh, really unfortunate that jammed.
Yeah, that's very unlucky for sure. So Scott Howard with a chance to spread him around a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
Still a few rocks to come. Still 4 rocks left for Kleiter to get out of this early end mess. I guess it's just not a big mess, but it's
No, you're right. I think you just get behind the tee line. Half a rock, maybe. Full rock.
yeah.
Make any run at a double a little steeper and maybe eliminate a roll in behind.
Yeah, this is going to be perfect, I think. Maybe go swept a little bit too much.
Pretty
No,
much.
it's okay.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
Rylan's playing we're talking about playing that run on the red one. I guess he doesn't have a choice. It's odd. On the overhead, it looks like he could make the hit and roll inside. But when you look at it in the long view, it looks like, no, that's not probably happening. So I was just thinking might be his only saving grace, that yellow rock. So you don't make a double here.
Right. You do have 2 opportunities to make a double here.
Matthew Hall. Can you get a piece? No. Get a little bit. Will it get out? No.
Not good.
No, not good at all. So Rylan Kleiter in big trouble early in this one.
Mm-hmm.
And not any real easy outs. He might find himself playing a draw to hope to bury against 4 here in a minute. Although I think he'll still whack away a little bit and try to make a double. So Matthew Cam now will look to throw the out turn. Spread it out again a little further. If the guard wasn't there, he's probably throwing this rock pretty much right on the pin, maybe, Terry, but doesn't want to go that way with the guard out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think the one, thing that Kleiter's team is probably glad that rock out front is it's pretty tight because as we've seen in the past there, a guard is only a guard if it's real close to the rings. If they're high, you can come around and get at them, both ways.
Sure.
Now you might try and roll this one that Matt just threw.
Boy, there's no easy escapes out here. There's there.
No, but that rock that Matt just threw, like, again, you got a chance at a double on the left and you got a chance at a double on the right.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if it sets up to make a triple here or not, but you'd have to throw a rocket for starters. But I'm not sure exactly if the angles are good on this or not. But Josh Matter is going to give it a go.
Yeah, that's about a half rock on the side of the ice that Ryan's holding the broom. and it's I think about a quarter. This
I
is
may not
this
get
is
it.
close. This is
Close, yeah.
close.
Another jam.
Oh, and he goes through the hole. Oh, he couldn't probably call that shot and make it.
Yeah, I mean that's a tough start. I mean they could have made some better shots, but they've gotten very unlucky on a couple here. Like to get just the one out of that was it's almost unfair. Scott Howard getting a little worried about that center one. What would you do here, Terry? I mean, that certainly if you run that yellow one, even if you don't guard anything, you're going to get out of this with no worse than a 2, and maybe a 3. Would you ever leave it and just hope that he doesn't make the perfect draw?
I would on this one. I'd leave it. I would. I'd go back to where he was.
Yeah. And that's where he's going.
Yeah, if they each had one rock to play, I think you might consider that.
Yeah.
If you were to remove it, I mean, if you each had a rock to play, I would think you're pretty much, as all. I mean, although there's no guarantee, you're almost guaranteed a deuce by removing it. But
So Team Kleiter in desperate need of making some kind of a double here.
I think he runs one of the doubles here.
Well, that's an interesting possibility. Talking about maybe playing the interim freeze.
Mm-hmm. You definitely get shot if you could freeze it on properly.
Yeah. Trevor Johnson looking at, well, you could hit the high one or roll over there, but I would imagine Rylan's sitting here thinking, well, yeah, maybe. Could be thinking two ways. Well, nothing wants to go here. Or secondly, it's like, I'm due to get one of these. Like, he's had two of them go jam and everything else. So he's probably feels like the odds should be with him to make one of these big rolls.
Well, it's the old story, like I think they're playing the double.
I would like to hope they're playing the double and the roll second, but
yeah, and I mean, I think you take the attitude like we're in deep trouble here. If we're going to give up a big end, I guess it would be here. So in the first end, how do we potentially eliminate a 4 spot? Let's work ourselves down to a 3 spot, and oh my gosh, that's unreal.
Yeah.
But I mean, now it forces Howard to, in order to bring those 2 back red ones on the other side into play, I think he's got to remove that. Although I guess a shot closest to the tee line might be shot. I don't know.
It's
hard to tell.
It's close, yeah. I feel like red's sitting 2 right now, but I'm not even sure. I think that it's for Rylan. Too bad if he hadn't been able to, even if he just made the straight double and sat basically, he did. Scott probably has to play it, and then if he makes a double on the other side, all of a sudden he's out of this with a 2, which would feel like winning the lottery, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he was playing it. Was if we can make the double, potentially get a rollout or what have you, we might be able to get out of giving up 2.
Yeah, for sure.
This is just interesting. I'm thinking that Scott's going to try and hit this high side and roll.
And he is.
I guess you got to watch, where you roll to.
Yeah, although I don't know how many bad spots there are right now, to be honest. This one's got a curl out, though.
He's got a piece of it, but it's like if you roll right in behind under the tee line, that is not good.
He kind of indicated a rollover in that direction. I don't know if that's exactly where he wanted to go, but.
Well, I mean, I think if you're Kleiter, you're looking at this as, probably one of the best opportunities that you have to kind of get out of jail.
How do you propose that that's going to happen?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking you could probably, draw down to um, the one there on the side and make it difficult for a multiple score of
Yeah.
more than two. But um, yeah, I mean, I think he's playing the hit and roll, like
Yeah.
make the double and just roll. But yeah, I don't think you're ever playing that, Ryland. Game
Yeah,
could
it's
be over
interesting.
in one end.
Yeah, it really could. Yeah, you're right. The freeze down there is pretty good, but as we know, freezes are not super easy to do. I don't
Mhm.
really like where Trevor was talking about hitting that outside one, trying to make the triple.
Yeah,
That's
neither
just,
do I.
yeah, I don't love that. The come around is, I don't know. You got to know, you got to feel like you really know the ice. And I think you got to come around probably on the out turn. So if you ever show a little piece, it's going to show it on the part that might jam on the mess over here on the right.
Yeah.
Depending on which camera, which view you're looking at.
Well, the one thing I can say in watching a lot of Kleiter's games is he's typically has great command of draw weight. I saw him when he won that tier 2
Yeah.
spiel where he had like a sliver of the button and boom, went down and threw it and made
Yeah.
it. But I mean, if it's me, I'm gonna kind of try and make this double and see if we can't roll in front of that rock that is shot rock biting the 8-foot.
He's trying this. If you
Yeah,
show him
they're
this,
trying to make the triple.
yeah. I think if you're going to play this, then you might as well go ahead and go for that because the other thing, you could hit the one on the back of the 8-foot lightly and roll in behind, in between the two reds sort of thing, and maybe minimize damage a little bit. It's just really tough right now. So here they go. They're on this right away, which isn't necessarily a great sign, but he's in the neighborhood.
No, there's
No.
wow. That was the problem playing it that way is
Yeah.
that you eliminated the hit and roll on top of where that the way it's set up now you took away that as an option.
Yeah, I didn't love that one. I just thought
me
that,
either.
You're coming from the outside and there's really not a lot good can happen if you don't make the shot. So I think he could have had a better chance of minimizing the damage a little bit with a couple other options. So a draw for Scott Howard here in the first end of our semifinal match here in Martensville. Just a draw to the paint for 4.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating for Team Kleiter. I mean, they played, I think, 3 doubles and were not successful in any of the 3 attempts. So, again, that's kind of uncharacteristic.
Yeah. Guys are working really hard on this, though. Will he get there?
It's in the good stuff. Yeah, we're there.
Yeah. So a big 4-ender for Scott Howard in end number 1. We'll take a short break and be back with you for the second end.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever All-Star event, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th, where 13 of the world's best men's and women's curlers face off for a star-studded celebrity pro-am. a unique skills competition, and an all-star skins game you won't want to miss. Got a ticket? We'll see you in Music City. Don't have one? Better hurry. They're going fast. The 2025 TCG All-Star Game. Live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
So Rylan Kleiter with some work to do here in the second end. Martensville drops 4 to Scott Howard in the first end. Kind of, Terry, it was odd. I mean, it was a 4-ender that really there was nothing buried or anything in that whole end. It was all just kind of wide open. Just Kleiter couldn't make something go away.
Yeah, they had 3 chances at making a double and just couldn't get it done. And as of all the shots that the Kleiter team chose there for the last one, I think you and I both agree that he took on the most difficult of the 3. Yes, it might have had the highest reward in terms of rock removal. It certainly came with the highest degree of difficulty, I think, and it eliminated the possibility of an inside roll in front of the rocks that Scott had back there.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think that you don't want to give up anything in the first end. You don't want to give up 2, and you really don't want to give up 3. But both of those keep you solidly in the game still. 4 is a real big challenge now. So Kleiter has to go really hard right out of the gate here. And you know what? It usually goes one way or the other. You either claw your way back in relatively quickly, or you just end up off the ice in 4 ends. But let's hope that he gets back in it and we can get to enjoy a good afternoon of curling. And he's off to the start. Got the corner up, and he's drawn to the wings to set up the second corner. We'll tell you too, Kleiter came through the round robin, as we said, at 2-2, and defeating Braden Calvert in the first game, losing to Calvert in the first game before winning a couple. And then he ended up in a tiebreaker last night with Drew Height and managed to win that one 7-4, I think it was.
Yeah.
And beat Bruce Corte this morning, also by 7-4 in the quarterfinal game. So technically he's 3-2. I guess it's 4-2 at this point.
Yeah, it's just they are pretty consistent. I mean, they had I thought a fairly decent Brier, and they were in tough for sure. But I think if you look at our kind of semifinal roundup here, like they had to be considered one of the favorites along with Howard.
Yeah.
To advance this far.
Yeah.
And then, the other one was Dropkin. Now, some people may have thought Cooey, but, Cooey has not had the kind of curling season that he was really hoping for. And as a result, he didn't advance.
That's right.
Had a chance to. I mean, he could have eliminated that playoff game with a win.
Yeah. So Kleiter's moving him around a little bit, keeping his guards out front.
Yeah, I think now for Kleiter, the whole thing's about, not trying to get back 4 in one end and just, keep a steady course and, goal being, let's get 2 and got lots of time to do the 2-1-2-1 exchange.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard not to get in a hurry here, but you do have to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now we're now looking to throw just a tight kind of a guard. I guess it is a straight guard. I didn't know if he was trying to be there or tucking in right behind it, but Howard started off this event 3-0, won his first 3 against McDonald, Goskins, and Wendling before losing to Calvert in the game that we were all talking about earlier last night, when he really made circus shots to keep that game going, and ended up losing that one 9-8 in extra end. And then this morning he played Calvert again, probably only, 8 hours a leader or something, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Calvert, and that one ended early. He made another wild shot in the second end there to get a 4, and that one ended up after 4 ends, shaking hands after 4 with a 7-1 win. So
Right. Yeah.
On a roll.
Yeah, and then our other semifinal game, Corey Dropkin and Jordan McDonald. Jordan McDonald does the hammer, and they blank the first in, and they're playing in the second.
Kleiter throwing not a lot of ice here. Must be just going to try to go down and maybe bump the red. And
yeah, he talked about bumping it into the open and rolling on top of that.
The other red?
Yeah. Other red, I think.
Yeah. Looks extremely difficult, but it's got to really curl. I don't see this getting over far enough, but here it comes.
Yeah.
The rub and a little hit. And very well done. Needed to get a little tiny bit more of it.
Yeah.
He gets another probably half inch, 3/4 of an inch. He pops it a little bit more in the open and doesn't roll into quite as easily a removable spot.
Yeah, he's sitting 2.
Talking about playing the come out on his own, I don't see him playing that by the time he's done. I think by the time they finish talking about it, he's going to be tapping that yellow one out, but I could be wrong.
Coming around. I think the one thing that, it deters him from playing the yellow rock is if they remove it and they roll in towards, you can't not roll into the middle. And I think right now he kind of likes what's there and the alignment of the rocks.
Yeah. That's what he's going with. Good call, coach. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, just making sure he's clear in everybody's mind is exactly what they're trying to do.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good point. The thrower needs to know exactly what's the best outcome, where they would really like it, and the sweepers need to know that too, because they're going to be the ones communicating with Scott around weight.
That's right. Jason Cam carving this one in. You'll get there.
Maybe just a little heavy.
Yeah. He leaves. This is where the problem with the four is, because it's Kleiter is looking to have to move too many rocks. If you just needed to get a point, you could always come down on the outturn, basically freeze the yellow one or the red one at the back of the 4-foot, and you'd be in pretty darn good shape. But he needs more than that. This is not a bad shot. If you could ever get half a rock and maybe pick up one of those reds on the way by, so you roll to the other side, that wouldn't be bad. Not easy, but wouldn't be bad.
Mm-hmm. Well, and as long as his shooter stays in the 8-foot, this may be a good outcome here for them.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think the natural tendency when you see it is, like you said, just draw right down. But with where Scott's rock is on top of the 4 and where that yellow rock would be, certainly Howard could shrink the rings real quick on him.
Yeah, for sure. Not much happening for sweeping here yet, so it's getting there.
There it goes.
You probably go right through the hole because that's it is. Yeah.
Oh dear. Stick with it, Ryland. Things are going to get better because they can't stay the same.
That is hard to believe, that one. How does that not touch something on the way by?
Yeah.
As long as he makes contact with one of them,
yep,
it's going to be at least decent. So, but there's some rocks around. This is kind of, this is kind of end he needed, really.
Mm-hmm.
Out turn hit now for Matt Cam. Roll into the group. Kind of interesting. We had a lot of, we're taking over the Matthews are taking over the world, I think, Terry. We've got Matthew Cam on this team, Matthew Hall on the other team, and we got Matthew in the production office, and the other Matthew is on the other sheet doing the production. So
wow,
it's it's the attack of the Matthews. Good situation now for Kleiter all of a sudden. If he can make a good shot here, he could easily set up a deuce maybe, and a little luck, maybe a little more. Who knows?
Yeah, I think we need to find out the date of birth or the year that all the Matthews were born with. Maybe that was a popular name in that year, birth year.
Yeah. So an left-hander out turn here.
Yeah.
Turn draw. Trying to go around, be buried at the top of the 4-foot. He's got to get this one in.
Yeah, this is a real big weight shot here. You really don't want to move a whole lot of rocks here.
Ooh, they might have overswept a hair.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. Would have been
pretty good. It does leave
a tiny little bit shorter. Would have been better, but it's a pretty darn good spot. Except the way Scott's playing right now, there's no question he makes the around the horn double here.
Oh, of course. Have to get a second reel to incorporate all these highlights. My gosh.
Yeah. So we got an in-turn hit here going right around the horn for Scott Howard. Has to curl a little bit more, but he's really close. There you go. He didn't even have to go around the horn. Good shot for Scott. All of the yellows are gone away. Kleiter still has an opportunity because of where that one is, that he can maybe get shot rock and be in a position where Scott Howard can't remove it. I don't know if there is such a position right now, but need to make this one.
Yeah.
Make this one first and then see what you can do with the next one.
Yeah, certainly not the start that the team was hoping for, but all you can say is we're still early in the game, and so there's still 6 more ends after this. Find a way to score here.
Still 6 ends after this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Rylan Kleiter doing what we think he does best, and that's playing a little touch game. He needs to make this one. Sweeper's getting ready. I think he's pretty good here, Terry. I just got to manage this last part here. Make sure it doesn't get away.
I think you got to go hard. There it is. Yeah, it's by.
Nice to have shot rock.
Oh, did he get shot rock?
No, I don't think so. It bounced off the other one.
Yeah, I don't think he did. The good news that you could probably get to it with the in-turn.
Yeah. Yeah, ironically, I think he actually had to come closer to hitting that on the nose than getting the inside roll, because I think when he got not a big roll, but he got a couple inches, and when it did that, it directed the other red off of the back red, which pushed it back up to be shot instead of yellow being shot.
I kind of like what Matt's talking about.
Yeah. Although anywhere where Scott was just tapping 7 spots in front of the house there, it would be fine. Just
yeah, he's certainly convinced that the top of the 12 is where they want it and take away the draw versus taking away anything else. They must think that red is shot. I mean, I like coming right in, but
yeah, I don't mind going right in. Although I think with this straight guard here, you're going to take away anything on the in-turn side. Just leave him the out-turn tap on his own for 1. And if you go right in, probably doesn't change much depending on where you're going to. If you're going to go right on into the 4-foot, I guess it just depends on where you want to end up. And if you want to go right in and be 1-2, for example, which you could do, that comes with a little bit of risk, but that's the only way to take the out-turn tap away. But right now, the out-turn tap's not much of a concern for Scott Howard. He's going to be okay giving up 1. Just doesn't want to give up that 2.
Yeah, and I think if you're Howard, I think that's the way you're looking at it. I'm sitting 1, and I don't want to give up 2.
Yeah.
So I mean, as you said, I mean, the draw, the guard is just as good as going right in. So.
Yeah. Kleiter just having a look before he settles on just getting 1 to see if there's anything on of a chance of 2. And this one, it might have a chance of 2, but I just don't know that the red's going to go anywhere, even if you make a great shot here. I think that the out-turn tap is probably easier to score 1. I don't see a 2 coming in here anywhere.
Yeah, I think you're hard pressed to score 2. I know they're looking at that run in, but you'd have to hit it, on the left-hand side of the rock, and then I don't think your shooter's gonna. Well, I guess I
don't know. It's really hard to save the shooter here. It's like and get rid of the reds at the same time. I mean, your shooter's only going to have. Even if you play that, your shooter's only going to have about a quarter of a rock on the 4-foot. So
no, I mean, I think you could probably get the shooter to be almost full 4.
Okay.
Like I say, you have to hit it on the center line side of the rock.
Yeah.
That's going to push the red. It's just does the red when it hits the other red. It's gonna be fully in the 4.
Yeah. Okay. I will be surprised if he ends up playing that. So
I think you have to play the top for 1.
Yeah. Try to get your point and give yourself a chance to get back in this thing.
Yeah, it's the old saying. Let's get on the scoreboard and see what happens.
Yeah.
It's like when you've given up 3 steals in a row, like, damn it, I got to get rid of this hammer.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right about that. Should be able to sell it.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll give you $20. I'll give you $20 if you take the hammer. So Rylan Kleiter with a difficult little shot here to score 1 in the second end. Just needs a T-line kind of weight. Doesn't really have to do anything much with it. Almost just has to touch his own to score. He definitely can't touch it too hard, though.
As long as he hits the rock, he should be fine.
Yeah. And nicely done. So nice little touch shot for Rylan Kleiter. Good show. It was not always an easy shot to throw when your head is like not happy with the situation, but Kleiter will pick up 1, and he will trail 4-1 after 2 ends of play here in Martensville. We'll be right back after the break.
Team Homan rocks. Team Mowat rocks. But who rocks harder? On April 7th, we'll find out. Presented by Rio Mare, join us in Toronto at the Curling Group's first ever Battle of the Sexes, as world number 1 Team Homan takes on world number 1 Team Mowat in a head-to-head charity curling skins game with a twist. 8 ends, 4 rule changes, and curling like you've never seen before. Watch it live on the Grand Slam of Curling website, app, and YouTube with celebrity coaches and special guest appearances. The Curling Group's first ever Rio Mare Battle of the Sexes, April 7th, Mattamy Athletic Center in Toronto. Get your tickets now at thegrandslamofcurling.com. Let's rock!
Oh, looks like they left the stage. Wonder what I can do with that.
Three. Rylan Kleiter trailing 4-1 without hammer here in the third end, so he really needs to probably steal a point this end. Terry, pretty fair to say. Can't afford to give up more than one for sure, but probably needs to steal. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the score dictates that this game is a real big chance of having gotten away from you. So I think you're going to have to maybe be a little bit more aggressive or take a chance that maybe you normally wouldn't take.
Yeah.
In our other semifinal game, Corey Dropkin stole one to take a 1-0 lead over Jordan McDonald. And just in case we have any Ontario residents listening in the seniors provincial finals, Mike Harris and his team of Scott Foster, Chad Allen, and Jay Allen just defeated the defending champion Scott Spencer, Greg Robson, Jeff Robson, and Nolan Sims in a really highly contested battle. The final score, I think, was 7-6 for Harris. It was tied coming home. Harris had the hammer and got their one. And then in the women's final, we have Sherry Maddaw kind of working her way through a lot of they were involved in I guess they call it the tiebreaker game, and she made it all the way to the finals and then defeated Joanne Rizzo, and on Sherry Maddaw's team kind of they're a veteran squad for sure, just like most senior teams. So Sherry had Carrie Lee Grant, Melissa Foster, and Jane Hooper Perot. So congratulations to Team Maddaw and Team Harris.
Okay. So Scott they watch Jeopardy and they do the thing, something mishmash or something. You come up with, but anyway, you combine two names. I don't know how to work it. I never get any of them. The Rylan Kleiter does have some stuff to work with here. Doesn't have a lot, but he's got a little bit. He's got the one guard. Matthew can make this shot, put it right in on top of the red, which I think that's where he's going. Sometime you might go another guard. That would be an option too.
The call was to come right in, but this might be, I was going to say might be a little light, but no, I think it's all there.
Keep it going. Keep it moving. And
wow.
We'll do that. It's a very nice shot.
Mm-hmm.
Scott's going to no doubt play the straight peel. I think would seem to be logical to me. He's going to go a little fancier. Mentioned Joanne Rizzo, who's been skipping the team from the territories for the last few years in the squads. Good player, obviously.
Yeah,
and she did have a very good senior team. I saw their team at some point, but I didn't know Sherry Minow was still playing. I don't follow that obviously a lot at this point.
Yeah, she had Janet Murphy playing third, and Lori Eddy playing second, and Mary Chillers playing lead. So, yeah, good squad.
Yeah.
Brian Cochran and Rahala from Ottawa, they kind of own that seniors title in the men's division for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they're getting older and letting other people take a turn.
Yes, that's right. So Kleiter now throw another guard up. I'm not sure who's got shot rock even here just yet, but
I think it is red, but nobody's getting
red.
nobody's getting concerned right now.
You want to go a little harder. I think you want to get that over a little bit more. Yeah. There you go. Very nicely done. So up comes appeal for Matt Cam. I'm trying to do anything fancy with this other than get rid of it.
Yeah.
Kleiter, if you're wondering, Kleiter really can't do anything but this. Even though he doesn't have shot rock yet, if he tries to do anything in there around the rocks in the 4-foot, chances are pretty good he'll set up some kind of a double or worse for Scott Howard to play, and then the end is over for him. So he pretty much has to keep going on this probably right till his last shot, and then he may play a little tap on the yellow at that point. Very nicely done. Terry, is it Hull or Hall? Matthew's last name, do you know?
Hall, Hall.
Yeah, okay. I think I was calling him Hull for part of the weekend, and when I looked up some information earlier today, I thought it said Matthew Hall. So
yeah, I think Kleiter brought him on in 2000 and what was the year before? 23.
Okay.
Yeah, 23. They played together. This is their I guess second full year.
Yeah.
And Matt's no stranger to curling for sure. He played, with Hardy when they won the U20 University Curling Championships. I think he was a Canadian champion at the I don't even know what they call it. I just call it university curling, but it's not called that.
Yeah, it's just CISs.
Yeah, it's not called that. It's U Sports or something.
U Sport, yeah.
So yeah, Matt's been around. Matt's been very successful over the years, and is a good addition to this team.
Yeah. Scott's playing a draw. pretty surprised with this. You surprised with this? I'm quite surprised he's playing this. It might not be a draw, it might be a little tap. I don't know, but whatever it is, I'm just a bit surprised by this call.
Yeah, I am too. Real conservative, yes.
Ooh. So down to 4 rocks, 2 rocks to each here.
Yeah, I don't know that it needed to go. A foot more, you would have topped that into shot. But I guess it would have been well guarded. But I don't know how you. I guess he's just trying to unlock things.
Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I can think of, he's trying to set it there in case he has to run something back into it. But I don't know. I just it's a confusing one to me, that shot. I think if he plays a straight peel, Kleiter probably throws one more guard. He peels it again, and then he plays a little tap, and it might be a little difficult to get rid of it. So now he's looking to play in the yellow into the crotch of the 2 reds.
Yeah, I mean, again, if you're Kleiter, like you don't obviously need to get greedy here. You need to score 1 first before you can score 2, and that might sound a little ridiculous, but I think that little tap on the red, is there for sure. But this seems to me at least make the most sense.
Okay. So if you make this, you're going to sit. Well, I guess it depends on which one you hit first, but yeah, I don't know. I just worry about this setting up a double on the yellows.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think because that rock of Howard's is behind the, it's just on the tee. Like I think that was, as good as it was going to get, and this is why I think he played it, is because now it forces Scott potentially to make a move on the top yellow.
Yeah. Well, it's a relatively simple tap for the yellows to sit 2 here, or if they needed to or wanted to, or even just sit 1 really good one. But it's interesting. I think he's peeling, possibly.
Yeah, I would think so. But I mean, again, I don't know if you're Scott, where you put it, where you're going to go, okay, we can get a deuce here.
I don't think I'm not sure he cares about that, getting a deuce at this point. I think he's probably more concerned with scoring or limiting the damage, maybe even, but.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't think you could guard both, like the tap and the draw, the in-turn draw to get shot. But I mean, again, I might have been. I don't know what I would have played there.
I probably would have peeled on that shot, but I would have peeled on the shot before. Is the one that confuses me. I just. And
that's where my head goes. I'm with you. Like I would have peeled that before. But now that you played the draw, like, do you play the draw again?
Well, yeah, that's what's kind of a bit baffling. So yeah, you definitely gonna have to move that up, and I think because there's no good way to move it up and just have a really good shot rock without setting up a double or something, you might as well throw enough to be sitting 3 when this is done, and you hit the yellow just pretty much on the nose with not big weight or anything, but hit it on the nose. Your shooter probably guards one of them anyways. All right. You're going to play that. whatever that is, they're going to play it. I'm not exactly sure where they're trying to do, and it looks like I don't picture them throwing a lot of weight, anyways.
No. I mean, I think you can play. I was gonna say I think you can play back line, back 12, but the way Scott's been producing those highlight reel shots, maybe not.
No. This might just be, you know what, Terry? This might just be a little,
Tap,
back button. Yeah, tap, and get shot rock. Make sure you're shot rock, and see if Scott might do something that that isn't real
Helps
smart.
you, yeah.
Yeah, it might end up giving you a couple. So definitely not going to throw it very hard, I don't think.
No. Yeah, I heard back 8.
Okay.
Back 8, back 12, which is what I was thinking.
Yeah. Needs to curl a little bit though. Ooh, gotta go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's pretty good. If it's shot, I just don't think it's shot though.
Oh,
It's not
yeah.
shot.
I think it is.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay. I'm looking at the overhead on the broadcast, like what the.
Yeah, it's shot.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
So now I think Scott plays the in off.
Yeah. He just didn't want to have too simple of a shot with his last one.
Mm-hmm.
He'd ruin his reputation.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Kleiter was hoping to catch a little bit more of that rock, so he'd potentially sit too.
Hmm. Well, the good news for Rylan is that Scott really can't do anything with those 2 yellows. If he's going to do anything, it's got to come off the outside one, and that might be good news, might be bad news. I'm not sure. It depends if he makes it or not. So if he ever got a little thin, he might end up picking his own out, but that's probably not happening either. He's probably going to hit something on that side. If he hits the one that's on the button, he probably does end up scoring too, but we'll have a look at it. He's getting ready. Scott Howard settles in the hack, throw his last shot here, last rock in the third end. Game he already leads 4-1, and trying to almost put it away here if he can make a double and score 2.
Yeah, I think this is a difficult shot for 2.
Yeah. Curling a little bit much, maybe.
It's close. No,
left no doubt on the yellow anyway.
Yeah.
So, Rylan Kleiter will live to play again and steals 1 here in the third end to draw a little tiny bit closer, trailing now 4-2 after 3 as we go to the break.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like 1 more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Stronger agronomics, better returns, greater peace of mind. From pre-seed to post-harvest, you can count on the Victory Canola program to keep you and your farm ahead of the curve. Grow with us at victorycanola.com.
So we're back for the fourth end. Big end for Kleiter to score there, Terry. I think we made that pretty clear going into that end. But good job for Team Kleiter. And as you mentioned, it's if nothing else, it's a feel-good moment, at least maybe at that point.
Yeah, I mean, after that 4, your head's kind of down and you're a little bit dejected, I'm sure. And then he actually made a really good shot to get his scored the second end, because that was not looking good. So after this third end and you're at the break, or well, we're not at the break, but we're playing the end to the break. You just gotta think, hey guys, that's a step in the right direction. We needed a steal, and now we know we can get that steal, and we'll just kind of bide our time here and try and make another one and hit the break.
Yeah. So I'll look for much the same this end. You're going to have the guard go up for Kleiter. Just a single guard right now, which I think he would like to have a couple out there, but
yeah. Well, and I mean, just further, I guess, illustrate it. Not that you'd have to tell this to these guys, but I know when I'm coaching, some of the junior teams, it's okay. We're heading towards the break. We got one end. Let's play this end like we're one down coming home without the hammer. If I think we're in a whole bunch of trouble and we're not clicking, we might as well try something. But now that Kleiter's got that steal of 1 in the third, I mean, this is a whole different level, but it's about mindset now.
Yeah.
Make it 2 games, first 4 and the last 4.
Yeah. Coming in with a little freeze here.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure I understand the Scott's strategy in these couple of hands. It's just he's now at a point where he can peel that guard, and I think that makes far more sense to me. Maybe to his team. Maybe
he can peel. So I'm just a little surprised. Like, let's force Kleiter to make these shots.
Yeah.
Yeah, this makes more sense. They're a pretty good hitting team, and
so Jason Cam makes the peel. So you mentioned this is basically the same as last time. You can just see Kleiter put up a stream of guards here, and Scott Howard, unless he fools us, will play several peels in a row. So he's not really set up that good for Kleiter right now, to be honest. Even without the guard,
that's right.
Get challenged putting anything in there that's going to be good. It takes a couple shots.
Yeah, to me, you're just playing. You're exchanging rocks. Kleiter's putting one up, and you're wasting one. Well, not wasting it, but you're getting rid of it, and you're eliminating rocks in the end, really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and really, it's if you look at it, if you're Scott and you look ahead and you say, well, what's when we get down here to Kleiter's rocks in his zone, like at some point he's got to make a move, as we just said on the yellow one, and what can he really do to me? Like, it's not going to be easy to do a lot. So maybe Rylan's thinking the same thing, and I don't know what he's doing here. I still think he's going to guard, but
yeah, I think they are too.
Yeah, I think they have to, but I don't know, Terry, for sure how he's ever going to turn this into a steal. To be honest, I just don't see where the opportunity is going to come from. But we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
Well, and I think if they're making a move, they're probably going to move on uh, Joshua's second rock here.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're just playing, throw a rock, exchange a rock, and you're down to Rylan's last one, and you're gonna run it into the two there, and I guess sit two, and
Cross your
give
fingers.
Scott a chance at a double and blank. So
Yeah.
now this does not surprise me either.
Nope, me either. But I still think the only way that Kleiter has to turn this into something is if Scott gives him an opportunity, and
Yep.
this might be that opportunity. It's.
Yep.
I just don't.
Yeah, no, I'm probably peeling, but that's just my comfort level, I think, speaking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like I say, I wanna make Rylan make the move, not me.
Yeah.
Mm.
See, now I look at it and say, well, if Kleiter decides to double those off, then his, it might not seem like a mistake, but it gives. I think Kleiter has a better opportunity to eventually get shot rock behind something than he did just one shot ago. So,
But if you hit that, if you hit that red one just thrown kind of on the nose,
yeah,
definitely two go. But that might touch the red one as well and push it out the side.
Yeah,
where they could have at least a look at it and potentially
agree,
leave that yellow shot rock.
Yeah, I agree. And even if it doesn't, it sits right there. And yes, you might leave a double for yourself, but now you have an opportunity to use that guard. And I don't know. I don't get it. These guys are smarter than I am. I think so. Every now and then, they might slip a little. give me a name. Yeah. So a lot of discussion on this one. We're at a point in the game where we're going to need a lot of chit chat.
Mm-hmm. Excuse me.
It's harder. Sometimes you have to recognize the fact that there's some parts of these shots that you're not going to be able to protect against, and you're going to need a little bit of a break.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So here it comes. Josh Mattern, third for Team Kleiter.
Did they settle on the nose hit?
I believe they did.
Okay. Just punch that out a little. It didn't go as far as I thought it would.
No.
Yeah, I really don't like that result.
So if you're Scott Howard right now, given that you may not have played the shot, you would have played the last shot, but what would you do here, Karen?
Well, I mean, you are sitting too. It's and the where the yellows are right now. I mean, they are in the 8 foot. I'm wondering if you can come down. Might be too risky though. If you can't play the out turn and tap that red into a better position where Rylan can't get at it, but I guess he'll always have that in turn draw as well. So you'd have to make it real good. You'd almost have to get it underneath the one that's on the button.
Yeah.
So they're looking at that shot as well.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the excuse me. I'm not sure if they play the in-turn draw where they basically guard against Rylan promoting that yellow rock. What's left? Like, I don't think. Can you make the double?
I'm not sure, but we're gonna.
This is okay. This is Scotty's. This isn't Scotty's first rock. Oh, that changes things.
Yeah. So Matt Cam looking to play the peel, and they are trying to pick the one yellow off if they can. Not going to hit it, I don't think. Well, Alan knew exactly what he was going to do if Scott didn't do that.
Yeah. Very decisive.
So playing a little tap on the yellow here. Or
yep.
I think so, yeah.
I think ideally they're trying to hit the nose of that yellow and roll it in behind the yellow.
Yeah. Rylan Kleiter's had some real precision type shots he's had to make these last few ends.
This may be a little light.
Ooh,
yeah,
it is. On them.
Oh, okay. No, it wasn't as light as I thought it was.
Yeah, it didn't get. I don't know. They need to hit a little tiny bit thinner, I think. Problem here is I think he can get rid of all the yellows. Just hit that hard on the nose and all the yellows go, don't they? Come really close to going.
Yeah, the yellow that's on the forfeit might. No, I guess it probably doesn't drag into the because if you're hitting on the nose, you're hitting the yellow on the high side. So I think they all do go.
Yeah.
Without much of an issue. I need my infamous lead that I used to curl a lot with. He was so great at angles. He was at the University of Waterloo and into some architect program. And, I would just say, hey, James, come here. Tell me which way this rock goes if I hit it here.
Yeah.
And he would tell me, and I go, really? So he was the one that actually kind of, was very helpful in me learning kind of that whole drag thing.
So here comes the out turn run back, or not a run back, really just a triple Scott's trying to play here, which is, he didn't.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
I guess you're right. We did need Buddy to be here to tell us that. I know he didn't. It didn't curl. I don't think he got to the nose where he was trying to get to, but at the same time.
Do we see that again, Maddie? Is that possible? Thank you. Oh wow! Yeah.
I think it had to curl a little bit more. So what do you do now?
Well, again, you're in that whole mode of like we need to score one. Let's we don't need to be. It just doesn't need to be fancy, and we don't need to score the two. But how could we really make a difficult shot for Scott so that we've got one in play?
Yeah, tough situation because you could there's a couple shots you could play, but if they don't work out perfect, you're going to give up two. But
I mean, yeah, and the problem is that yellow one. If you even got to kind of the nose of it, you're not going to sit two. So promoting that is really not a viable option. I think that out turn through the holes I think that's way too difficult. So I think you probably have to think about moving that yellow a little bit in behind the cover and rolling a little bit to the broom side there of center line.
So you play this basically like pretty much like a split.
Yeah, I guess that would be probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
It's the problem is you don't want to leave a double, so
no. Yeah, it's a little difficult because you're probably going to leave Scott with a relatively open hit for one, but he can afford one right now, even though he'd like to score. He could afford the one, but he can't afford a two.
No, and I think you're right. Fourth end, it definitely Howard would like to score.
This is going to be really close to being perfect.
Yeah.
If they got the sweep call right.
Oh, they blew the sweeping call.
They did. It needed to curl just another half an inch or maybe an inch.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it's perfect.
Tough call, to be fair, but because it does cook.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, I think it forces Scott into the run back on the red, but.
Yeah, I don't even know if he has to do that. You think he can just come by and take it out?
He could. It's just that, there, I see it better now. I was thinking that, in terms of just watching Rylan's shot, like they thought they needed to keep it straight, but they really didn't. So they're going to play it kind of quiet.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Rylan's was tough because they're trying to hit just an inch of the outside of the rock, right? So it wasn't like that was what making it hard. So you're sweeping it almost all the way to miss it and then just trying to get that little bit of curl.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough. So anyway, not an easy shot, though, for Scott Howard. And it is for two, though, if he makes it and if he can hang around, I guess. Sweepers aren't doing a whole lot, so it must be close.
This is close.
Starting to go.
He's got it by the looks of it.
Yeah, great shot by Scott Howard.
Yeah.
Unfortunate break for Rylan Kleiter there as he drops a 2 here in the fourth end. Will trail 6-2 at the non-existent fourth end break. So we'll be back right after our break.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Band has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
We're back here at the Curling Stadium, Martensville International, and we've just finished the fourth end, heading into the second half of the game, and Team Howard has now got a 6-2 lead in this semifinal action. The winner advancing to the finals a little later on this afternoon, and then the other semifinal, Jordan McDonald has just scored one in the fourth end, and that game between he and Corey Dropkin is tied 1-1, and Corey Dropkin gets the hammer for the first time in the game as they head to the second half. Howard has thrown his first rock of this fifth end to the 4-foot area, and Team Kleiter's quickly put up a corner guard, and Team Howard's thrown the second one into the rings, and now Kleiter's going to throw the double guard. This to me is just a preference thing. He could throw two corner guards, but as we've seen throughout this spiel, when you have a corner guard that high, it's pretty easy to at this level to get the rock with quiet weight and remove it. So Kleiter's throwing up this corner guard, so he's got a double corner guard, a lot tighter. Now it's more practical.
Yeah, I agree, Terry. I think I'm still not 100% sold on the double corners, but it does have merit in situations like this where that first guard is definitely too high to be left by itself.
Yep. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, that might be his preference anyway, but the placement of the first corner may have dictated that call.
Yeah. Scott Howard's going to try to defend this by going around the corner.
Yeah. You see more and more teams trying to choke this off. I guess I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I guess on one level, they're going. So for you to throw another short one or even another one in the house, knowing what they're going to do, maybe that's kind of a little bit of the philosophy is, hey, let's beat them to that with a good spot. But I just think so much can go wrong. I mean, you get it behind the tee line and all that stuff. But again, we're not curling at this level, and so I think a little bit of our experience of playing it in the club, you that's the part you worry about. Well, this thing goes back 8 foot. We're just helping them. So
yeah, we always used to say that don't chase around the corner, and basically meaning if you had hammer, don't be running back there. But I don't know how it applies a 6-2 lead. So
yeah.
He'll sneak it by, and he will.
Yeah, just.
Well, it's a bit of a start, I guess. Scott Howard.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think that the placement of the Howard rock when he went behind it, like that was kind of the perfect depth, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, for Kleiter, at least if Scott makes this shot, now his red one will be in a more usable place for Kleiter. Jason Cam, second stone for Scott Hard.
Got a little full with that one.
Yeah, Scott doesn't look too optimistic about
Oh
this.
yeah, no, yeah, he set that.
Yeah, he just a little in-out throw there, and
yeah.
These situations are really difficult, Terry. It's just hard to get your head around what you talk yourself in and out of several different options here, and
oh yeah. I mean, most people wouldn't even think of drawing behind into the back 8 foot, and so I think a lot of people are going, what's he doing? Like, why would he want to go there? But I mean, at the end of the day, we've got Rylan down 4, needing some rocks in play, and I don't know. Like, you're never going out to the wing, so I mean, I like either the behind that he's playing, or tapping that yellow one again, because I think that it's going to be difficult to potentially move that red one if you wait to the end.
Yeah, I think so too. I know you run a risk of setting up a double, but I don't know. I don't know. It's not to me a live and die kind of shot. It's
right.
So I don't know about this one. This is Rylan standing up here. I don't. Oh, you just stand up to have better luck. Sweeper's going hard.
Yeah, this is pretty good by the looks of it. It's in the good stuff, so it's going to glide a bit. Would have liked to have buried that. But.
Yeah, it's pretty good, though. Johnson and Matter took it along there pretty good. Scott's going to take another run at this shot.
Mm-hmm.
Different player now, so we'll give somebody else a chance.
Yeah, little brother, pay attention. Watch how this was done. Better make it now, Matty.
Yeah, I think he'll make this fine. Jason just had a little bit of different looking slide than Matt's is a little bit straighter.
This is still got a curl.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
That is good.
Yeah.
That yellow, lonely yellow one at the back is.
Yeah.
Going to take some real brain power to figure out how to get that back, get that into play. But this is as good a place to start as any. I think I'm going around the corner again, though, sitting on the red, on the inside of that red one.
I would definitely be tempted. I think you need to get a rock behind there. Now, certainly, Rylan's talking about, making a hit and roll to get there, which I guess that's fine. I mean, the bottom line is from my vantage point, I think, that's a rock needs to get there.
Mm-hmm. He's looking to play the freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Does this right, it'll be in a good position that it probably can't be removed and offers a little more protection on your back one.
Yeah, I don't know whether, I mean, if that yellow's fourth or fifth shot, I have no idea, but
I think it's actually fourth. I think it is closer than the red on the opposite side.
Yeah, you really need to get that in.
Going to be a little short.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to be helpful.
Well, it's definitely going to add some risk to Scott's ability to remove it, but
yeah.
Yeah, that yellow might be 4 and the top one is 6, so this is Matt's second shot, so they've each got 3 rocks to come. 3 rocks is not a lot of rocks to make those 2 yellows count if they need to count, but
Well, you were right about that. They seem a little hesitant to just rip that yellow out of there. I don't picture him throwing any kind of a guard out there. That
I like the tap on that one that he just did.
Yeah. Using the safety in numbers theory.
Or I guess the other thing is, you hit that red and like on a kind of a slash thing and get rid of that yellow.
Yeah.
The only reason I like that is it would definitely take away any hit and roll on that rock in the 8-foot of Howard's that is all there by itself.
Yeah. So they've settled on the little tap on the red, I think. Matthew Cam. The out-turn tap. This looks pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Man, oh man, Kleiter's going to have a hard time scoring here.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed almost like they want to play this and just kind of rub the top red one. Does that make sense, Terry?
Not to me, but
yeah. I don't know for sure if that's what he was sort of indicating.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like that. He did it twice, and
this is close to what they called, but
Yeah. Yeah, it looked to me like it was exactly what I don't know exactly what they were going to get out of it, but it's actually, it does open up some options for Kleiter, I think. And if Scott Howard hits this and even stays there, Kleiter can probably come around that out turn and chip it, maybe get a little bit of inside roll off the red.
Well, definitely what it did do is, provide a little bit more, I think, percentage of scoring.
Yeah.
In our other semifinal game, Corey Dropkin scored 1 in the 5th end and is now up 2-1 on Jordan McDonald's team.
Yeah, much lower scoring affair than we have here.
Yes.
This one, there it goes.
On nose, yeah.
It looks like it's not going to go for the longest time, and then it just makes that move.
Yeah.
So Rylan Kleiter trying to figure out a way here that he can bring some extra rocks into scoring. This is why he's looking so hard there.
Without disturbing that yellow rock.
Yeah.
If he were, and again, I know he's trying to score more than one, but if you make this double, is that yellow second shot, or is it,
If you make the double on which two?
The red one that's on the 4 and the one beside the broom.
Yeah.
You leave a double, obviously, but I mean, like, again, I don't know whether that yellow is third shot or fourth.
Yeah. I feel like if this is possible, that he can go by here and get a little bit of an inside flop on this red. If that's there, and I know it curls hard, but if it's there, then I think his chances of 2 are a little bit better than if he makes that double that you're referring to, because I think the double he refers to leaves a...
double right back. I don't know if you can get an inside roll here, given the amount of weight he's going to throw here.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't roll too far. Oh, yeah, it just rolled too far.
So Scott could make all the yellow. Well,
I was just going to say, do you not just nose that yellow that was just thrown?
I think you do.
I mean, the only other thing really you could do is I suppose you could tap the red one closest to the center line and make sure you were sitting at least 2. But I like this shot. That was the first shot I saw.
Yeah.
No, he didn't get it the way. Oh, he did get it the way he wanted it. Okay, I didn't think he was going to get that. That's a real good shot. I think it really just it makes a score of 1 for Kleiter, but I mean he's still going to make a pretty good shot.
Yeah,
you see it here on the replay.
I wasn't even giving any thought to him making a roll. He almost.
No, either was I. I mean. Sitting 5 and throwing a draw, which he's got to actually tap, I think.
So final rock here for Rylan Kleiter. In the game that's been a struggle, but if he can make this one, he will continue to play again.
Mm-hmm.
Has to curl.
Really has to curl, yeah.
It's going to get to half of it, but will that be enough? And I think it will. No, the back one
Oh, I
stayed.
don't know. I think the back one still shot rock.
I think you're right. Well, let's have a look here, but it sure looks like red.
Yeah.
Red might put an end to this game, though.
I think they've agreed that definitely one. And have a look at see whether it's two or not.
So they've already kicked off the shot rock?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay,
but well, I say that. I mean, it was Matt that pointed to, like Matt Hall, I think, was the one that pointed to the red one on the back there at the closest to the center line. They're talking about what do we play on or not. It's been a long weekend, boys. Do you want to go home?
Yeah. 7-2. If it's 7-2, you're down 5 with 3 to go. You need to get 3.
I'm playing one more. I'm throwing them back. Like.
So we will take a short break here, and we'll figure out the score when it comes back. We think it's 7-2. We think that's all it is, but we'll be back for the sixth end right after this.
The people have spoken, the votes are in, and the players are ready to rock. At curling's first ever All-Star event, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th, where 13 of the world's best men's and women's curlers face off for a star-studded celebrity pro-am, a unique skills competition, and an all-star skins game you won't want to miss. Got a ticket? We'll see you in Music City. Don't have one? Better hurry. They're going fast. The 2025 TCG All-Star Game, live from Nashville, April 15th and 16th. Let's rock.
Hi there, Jim Hale for S3 Air Systems. Today we're going to talk about their new product, UFO Aeration. Here you can see the completed, durable, powder-coated steel frame construction and the large mega louvered design that allows 4 times more airflow than traditional steel louvered designs. Here I'm just bolting the stage halves together. You can see how the components lock together with just a counterclockwise twist for different aeration needs where you can add and remove stages. Just remember that once there's grain in the bin, you can't change how many stages are in it. Please empty the bin before you change the number of stages.
For end number 6 here, the semifinals of the Curling Stadium Martensville International event here in Martensville, Saskatchewan, where Scott Howard continues to lead now by a score of 7-2 over Rylan Kleiter. Rylan's obviously in a bit of desperate straits to get back in this one, but the boys decided they'll take one more shot at getting a multiple score, and if they can do that, they'll keep going, and if not, they will probably not keep going after this end. So got the one corner guard up. I'll put a second one up in behind the same. Stack corners. I think it's great if you need to get 1 point. I just don't know if it's great if you got to get more. I should say 1 point, 2 points, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like they've been able to position rocks fairly well in this game in the front end, but they just haven't been able to turn it into anything.
Yeah.
Might be because Howard's team is playing just as well or better, I guess. So same strategy here. They'll try to take the corner away by asking Cam, in this case Jason Cam, to come around. Is it a goal? Do you actually try to bury this, Terry, or do you just try to sort of half bury it?
Half bury it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that. I mean, and anybody I've actually talked to, kind of has said, yeah, they would prefer to, kind of half berry, 3/4 berry than as opposed to like berry it.
Yeah. Went a little deep and did pretty much fully berry, but so a little bit of an opportunity here to come around, sit on the corner of this one, and maybe build something towards a possible 3-ender, which is what he really needs at this point.
Yeah, and while we play the 6th end here on sheet 1, Team McDonald is has an open hit, lie 2, score 2, and potentially take a 3-2 lead here.
Okay. So a good shot there for Team Kleiter. Second stone, Matthew Hall. Jam again.
Yeah, and if you're Kleiter, this is where it gets kind of lonely. You start thinking about the what ifs, if onlys. It's hard to play this when you know that time's kind of not on your side.
No. Kleiter will look to throw up another corner now. They'll need one really significant miss by the Howard team, whether that's a nose hit or it's a near miss or it's a whatever, or just a complete miss, but that happens very, very rarely. Something to give them a chance to not have to keep throwing up this extra card sort of thing.
Yeah, I think you always, you're hoping for a jam, but
yeah,
that's sometimes doing a lot of hoping.
Yeah. Every now and then when they try to peel one, they'll peel it on their own or something in the house, and that would give you a little something to work with. But
yeah, and again, those are one of those things like, whether they jam or not, I mean, that's totally out of your control. So, you just got to focus on, what you can do, not kind of what may or may not happen based on the other team.
Yeah. Bill coming here from Matt Cam.
Yeah, this is a good weight peel shot.
Yeah. Kleiter looking to maybe change it up now, recognizing he's doesn't have a lot of rocks left. I'm going to try to dip around the red one. I might throw up that corner one more time, but whatever. You're kind of grasping a little bit here, so.
Well, and I think you got to grasp at something that says, well, if they take a run at the that one that is shot rock, there you might get a jam. So I definitely like this. You've got nothing to lose at this point in the game.
No. Needs to sit down a little bit.
Yeah, this may have to grab some breaks. And unfortunately, it didn't.
Got out now. Peel the height, or not high. Peel the corner. Peel it towards the rock in the back of the 8-foot there, back of the 12-foot. Try to pick it up on the way by, probably. You never quite know with Scott for sure. He's looking pretty hard at.
Yeah.
Don't think you should be looking at. No reason to go in there and kind of have to maneuver rocks around when you can just straight peel this one into the back of the house and go from there. So even with the big weight, if you hit them in the wrong place, every now and then they'll stay.
This will be humming.
Yeah.
Close. Yep. Great shot.
Yeah, really good shot. It sort of indicates the difference of the day for the Howard and
Yeah.
Kleiter teams. Earlier on, when Kleiter was still in this game and had some really good chances, they had 2 or 3 of those that just would jam or something would happen and they wouldn't get one out because it would jam or whatever. And, and every one of those is a little bit of a guess as far as whether you're going to make it or not. And sure enough, Matt Cam made it.
Yeah, wasn't it the first end where when they gave up 4 that they played 3 doubles and only got singles out of them?
Yeah, big cross house shots that you just figure
Yeah.
if you go in the right direction, you're probably going to make one of them, and couldn't make any of them.
Yeah, I remember that one that went right between the hole there.
Oh, yeah, on the other side.
Could not have done that if you called it, I'm sure.
So a nice little shot here.
Yeah.
Tuck it in, sitting 2, which is more than they've been sitting most of the time.
Yeah.
You ever get maybe a little miss here?
Yeah, for me, this is where, and maybe it's because if I was thrown it, it'd be an out turn versus the in turn. But I would all day be playing the red onto the yellow.
Oh yeah.
Just because playing the in turn, that's just in a spot where I'd have to put the broom where I find that's one of those difficult spots to hit as a right-hander. So I would play the on the red onto the yellow.
And I wouldn't have been playing either one of them. I would have played the intern on the other side of the sheet just because that's my preference for the shot. I know there's a couple of rocks to maneuver around, but really it's pretty much a nose or just off nose hit, and that's the way I would go. But the shot for me and if I was going to play this, this is the way I would play it.
Yeah. I think it's the safest. You play the intern if you just happen to tick that red, now they're sitting 2 and and you're going to throw probably down to the back one. And this is the only way that I think Kleiter decides to play the 7th end is if they get 3.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
And with the way everybody can throw nowadays, Terry, those shots are not even, the shot like that, even with them being fairly close for me, for example, at this point in my ripe old age and everything, it's still not a gimme. I can't stand it. I can't jump in the hack and throw it down there at 7 or 8 seconds. So, as soon as you have to throw something more like in that 9.5 range, you bring a little bit of curl back into the game and things can happen. So. So we're going to play a little bit of a freeze here. Try to line up the 2 yellows. That yellow and the one he's going to throw in a second. Line them up so if Scott hits them, he can't remove either one. The one would jam on the back and the high one might jam on the one in the biting the button. It's the plan here. And really a good idea. I don't see any other way to potentially even get a 3 because you're going to have one rock that's wide open anyway.
Yeah, I was thinking, how do you get 3? And to me, the only way you get 3 is if Scott jams that yellow into the red. So I might play down to that red one that's in the back on the center line.
Yeah.
Try and set 2-3.
Yeah. Tell you one thing these guys have done, both skips have done, is they've read the ice really, really well. Like all these difficult shots like this, like they nail the ice. Like, that's pretty darn good.
That's great. Yeah.
If that rock curls 2 inches one way or the other, you don't even have a chance to make have the shot work. So it's still hard, but it's a nice job, really good job.
Mm-hmm.
And it does kind of do what we were talking about. If Scott decides to go after it, it potentially, he can hit the top one thin enough maybe that it doesn't really do much, but goes through the hole or rubs and goes through the back behind the one in the button. But there is a chance there that both rocks could end up jamming if he goes after it. Although I think he'll go after the high one and throw it hard on the intern.
Mm-hmm.
And just pop it through the hole. That's what I think, anyway. For the same reasons I just said, the fact that they can throw it so hard, they don't need any ice. Basically,
Yeah, you would think that this will be a 7 second peel, closer to 6 than 7.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and not only can they throw it hard, but they have sweepers that can even at that speed can sometimes back it up for you. So
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see if he does happen to hit it just right on the nose, basically where the rocks end up. I think there's a good chance both yellows end up staying if he does that, but that's not what he's trying to do.
No, and I think again he's happy to give up 2. That's the main thing, is don't give up 3.
He didn't throw it. Yeah, just trying to play the pick. Yeah. And Rylan, recognizing that he needed 3, has decided to call it a day. So Scott Howard will advance to the finals of the Curling Stadium Martensville International event here in a couple of hours, while Rylan Kleiter will be not unhappy with the semifinal finish, I'm sure. But Terry, it was just a game that early 4-ender kind of put it to bed almost, didn't it?
Yeah, the game really got away from Ryland in the first end. Unfortunate, like we talked about, they made 3 attempts to make a double and just couldn't get the double, and then we kind of didn't agree with his last call to play it the way he did, trying to eliminate 3 instead of maybe just make the double and roll. However, that said, Team Howard, full marks for the way they played. Like I said earlier on in the broadcast, I mean, they had to be one of the favorites coming into this. And they're off to the finals, and now they're just going to sit here and wait to see whether they'll be playing Corey Dropkin or Team McDonald in the finals.
So we'll invite you now to, if you would like, you could jump over to the other game and catch the end where Dave Schmel and Sean Joyce are calling the other semifinal game, and they will also take you right through the final a little bit later. So for Terry Corbin, I'm Jim Nix, and thank you all, as well as Matthew Duizer, for doing the production today, and great job on that. And we will see you all again next week. And for those of you taking in the final, enjoy that, and I'm sure that'll be a great game as well. Bye for now.
Take care, everybody.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's going to make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like 1 more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.